Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and everybody in between, welcome to another episode of the Jake Botel Sports Experience. On today's episode, we continue our team profiles for the 2022 Senior All-Ireland Hurling Championship with a look at Laois. If you haven't checked out my other videos yet, go and have a look at the playlist for the 6 Joe McDonough Cup team profiles. While you're there, go and check out the Munster Hurling team profiles. All 5 Munster Hurling teams profiled there. While you're there, consider chucking me a subscribe. It sends good vibes your way, helps me grow the channel, so it's a win-win. Laois, known as the O'Moore County. Their manager is Seamus Cheddar Plunkett. Since 2021, their captain, Porrick Delaney and John Lennon. Their most recent title came way back in 1915. So it's been over 100 years since the Laois Hurlers claimed their one and only All-Ireland hurling title, and over 70 years since they were last runners-up. It's a tough road ahead for Cheddar Plunkett's men, with development towards true competitiveness the priority in 2022. Cheddar Plunkett was one of my favourite analysts to listen to on the GAA Hour. I absolutely loved hearing Cheddar's perspectives on sport and on life as well. Just sounded like someone whose brain I would love to pick. Had some great points about how the philosophy of different sports was really quite similar. So if you can go back and dig up some of those old episodes of the GAA Hour with Cheddar Plunkett on them, highly recommend. Always a great listen. So let's have a look at the National Hurling League form for Laois this season. So they began with a really close loss to Tipperary, losing by just 4 points, 114 to 21. The following week, they were blown apart by Waterford. Not the only team that Waterford did that to this season. 7-31 to just 19, losing by 33 points. They followed that up with a 17-point loss at Kilkenny. Won the crucial matchup for them against Antrim by 1 point. That game essentially was the one that was deciding who would be in the relegation spot in their division. So they had a crucial win over Antrim. Then lost by 10 points to Dublin. They went 1-4 across their 5 games, scored just 3 goals, 94 points. So it was a low-scoring league campaign for Laois. 12-130 conceded. So they conceded a lot of points back the other way for a minus 63 point differential. Let's have a look at some of the individual scoring performances for the O'Moore County in the league campaign. They had Stephen Maher, who scored 27 points. James Keys, 1 goal, 9 points. Enda Rowland, 1 goal, 8 points. And Ross King, no goals, but 10 points for a total of 2 goals, 54. So as I said, a low scoring campaign for Laois. I'm interested to see how they were tackling this, because this season, obviously, you go from the National Hurling League into Championship, but the first stage of Championship is a league format, which, you know, is the first time in a few years that they've had this league format for Leinster and Munster. So how was Cheddar and his Laois team approaching this? Was there, you know, a lot of experimentation? Was there a lot of sort of concealing what they wanted to do? I don't know. It's going to be really interesting, a case study to look back once we have the championship out of the way, to see how different teams used the league to prepare, knowing they were going into another league setup, essentially, for the first round of championship. So what are my expectations for Laois in 2022? It's all about survival for me. They staved off relegation last season with a win over Antrim before being knocked out of championship the following round. Their first and last games this season in the Leinster Hurling Championship are going to make or break Laois's bid to stay out of the relegation zone. They come against Dublin in week 1 and Westmeath in week 5. A win against Westmeath, barring massive upsets elsewhere, should almost guarantee that Laois will stay out of another relegation matchup, probably against Antrim. I'm backing Antrim to win the Joe McDonough Cup. So if that's how it turned out, whoever finishes bottom in Leinster would be playing off against Antrim and that's not a given result either. Antrim are a tough side and will be burning to get back up. So I think if Laois beat Westmeath in week 5, as I said, barring drastic upsets elsewhere, that should almost certainly guarantee their survival in 2022. What's next for you on the JBSC? Well, next up, we have a look at another Leinster hurling team, Westmeath. We'll have a look at their team details, the National Hurling League form, season expectations, and more. If you've enjoyed this video, please consider going and checking out the others. There's playlist for the Joe McDonough Cup teams. There's one for the Munster teams. There's one for the Leinster teams as well. While you're here, why not give me a subscribe? Just hit that button in the corner there. It sends good vibes your way and helps me grow the channel, so it's a win-win. Until next time, thanks so much for watching.